What's up guys, welcome back to another Rad Reefs video, the Radish channel on YouTube. Today we are going to be working on the MR2 once again. It's been a long time since I did this. Wind, stop blowing, you're going to mess up my microphone. We're going to be working on the 2005 Toyota MR2 Roadster. I have now been driving for a year and I'm lucky enough to be able to put this on the road. So we're going to be doing some really fun stuff with this. I'll tell you the work's been done to it to make it work correctly. So the two rear calipers have been changed for brand new, well, I say brand new, refurbished calipers that are like brand new. They've got brand new gear in them and everything like that. And two new rear handbrake cables. We bled the brakes before the calipers got put in, and they were snappy as hell. They were lovely with the old calipers and everything in it. Now I set it up to do the works are done. It's all good. I get it back and it feels like the brakes don't even exist, which is super disappointing. The brakes do work, but you have to literally slam on for them to come on, whereas you would have wanted the brakes to be where you tap them and they come on within an instant, which is what we're going to do today. We're just going to bleed the brakes and make them nice and snappy again. In terms of insurance, let me go back to this because I'm sure some of you will be interested in what it cost. It was 1,200 quid without a black box on my second year of driving, after driving the Mini for a year. So just 1 year's experience, no years, no claims, everything like that, and it was 1,200 quid. Funnily enough, it's without the stock rims. It's cheaper by £10, don't get me wrong, but it's still cheaper to say that you have custom rims on a car rather than the stock rims on a car. And yeah, it's 10 quid, but let's face it, why would you want to put stock rims on a car if you can put custom rims on for cheaper? I don't understand that at all. The funny thing is though, with the insurance, it costs 1,200 quid with custom rims, but if I wanted to put say a £50 rear wing on the car, it then goes up to £3,000, which is triple what I paid for the car, which is just stupid. If you want to make the car safer and give it more downforce in the rear end, you can't, because they interpret it as being a wing that's off a Formula 1 race car and needs to be insured for £3,000. So I just don't get that at all. But you know what? Is what it is, isn't it? Let's get to bleeding brakes. I've taken you too long out of your way. Let's get to it. Alright, so the things you're going to be wanting to do this sort of job is your locking wheel nut, your ratchet set with, lo and behold, wouldn't you guessed it, a ratchet. You also need a jack stand, and make sure you have the bar because it took me a while to find this. But you want to find a good strong brace. Usually the side metal brace that goes down the side of the car will suffice. In this case, that's what I'll be using. But each, have bits of bars that are sticking down that are considered jack points, really, so you can pump the car up comfortably without wanting to break anything. So I'm gonna find the one that is on this car underneath here. Once you've done that, make sure you've got a block underneath either one of the wheels or both of the wheels. I myself put two blocks, well, one block each, but one block under each front wheel so that it doesn't roll away. So let's use this as a step list. So step one, make sure that there's blocks underneath the front two wheels of your car. Second, step two, make sure that the brake reservoir is, the cap on top of it is popped off, because it's got pressure inside that system to be able to push the fluid through the actual brake system. So you're going to need to take that off before you do anything else. Step three would be you should have all your kit already here. So step three would probably be getting the jack underneath the car, I would say, and getting it prepared to be able to lift the car off the ground. Step four would be taking this wheel off first. There's one thing you'll be wanting to remember. If the brake reservoir is at the front of the car, which mine is, it's at the front right side of the car, and it's on the driver's side, funnily enough, as well. you want to start with the wheel that is furthest away from the reservoir. If it's at the back of the car, start on the same side, because we're going to work around in a four until we get to the closest wheel to the reservoir, which is mine is on the right hand side. So for me, I'm going to start at the rear right hand side and then work my way around to rear left, then front right, which is the closest to the brake reservoir cap. So once you've done all that, what step are we on now? Step 4? Not sure. You want to then be able to pump up your car so that you can get the wheel off. So if we do this, we get it up to the point where it is hitting the metal bar, so it's nice and comfortably on there. What you want to do is be able to get this wheel off nice and comfortably. So there's a little trick to be able to do that. What you want to do is find the ratchet that is the same size as your wheel, which funnily enough this is, and then you want to keep the car on the floor so the wheel is actually being pressed down by the weight of the car. This will make it tons easier than you lifting up the car, the wheel spinning while you're trying to take the nuts off and the bolts and things like that. So yeah, keep the car on the floor because it'll make it easier before you pump it up. And then you want to take each of the four wheel bolts or four wheel studs off of the wheel, which will then allow you to take the wheel off. Alright, just to give you a little bit of an update, we've just taken the wheel off from what I told you beforehand, following all those steps, so we're all up to date now. We had to nip to the shop because I realised we'd not got any brake fluid, so yeah, we did that. So with these new calipers, you wanted to just find this bleed nib, which has usually got a rubber bit on it, but sometimes it hasn't. Because these are new, they did have, thankfully. So you want to find that, and that's what we're going to be using to be able to bleed the brakes later on. Okay, so once you've got the wheel off and you've got a spanner that fits the size of the bleed nipple that you've got on the actual caliper itself, you want to find yourself a little bleed pipe with a little slit in the bottom so the fluid can come out. Okay, so we've just got a little bit of pipe, put a bit in the end of it, something to jam in there to make sure it don't come out of there, and put a little slit in the bottom of the pipe just for the fluid to come out. Find yourself a little tub, you know, like an old juice bottle will work just as well. Just anything sort of just to put the fluid into, and a little thing to prop the bottle up on while you do this. So what you want to be doing is, the bleed nipple is tight at the moment, which will not allow any air in or out of the system. And what the aim is here, to bleed air out of the system. Okay, so what we're going to do is, when you push your foot down on the brake pedal of the car, you want to build up pressure, and then while you push that down and you feel like the pressure's built up, you want to undo this to let the fluid back out and push the brake pedal to the floor and keep it there, right? And you usually do have another person in the car while doing this, so you can chat to one another when you know it's at the bottom or know it's at the top. So once it's at the bottom and your bleed nipple is now undone, you then want to tighten that back up before they let the brake pedal up, always before they let the brake pedal up. And because you don't want to let air back into the system. Yeah, so remember that aim, you want to get air out of the system. So once the brake pedal's at the bottom, this will be all the way open, and then before you bring that back up to the top, this gets tight. So tighten that up, let the brake pedal back up to the top, and repeat this process until the fluid is clean and everything else. While you're doing this, you also want to be keeping an eye on your reservoir, which is at the front of the car, like we said about before. And you want to make sure that this is filled up. That's why I went to get some new brake fluid. And yeah, you just want to make sure that that's topped up, so you're not bringing out and pulling air back into the system through there. Okay, so this process exactly the same for all the way around the car. All you need to do is copy this process all the way around the car. hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial, as you could put it, I guess. Just bleeding the brakes purely on the basis that they were soggy as hell, and now they bite like hell, as they should, from the actual garage himself. But enough about that. They're working now, they're all good, they're fine, they're biting, they're snappy, they're brilliant. Tomorrow I'll be able to drive the car, which is very, very, very exciting. So until then, please stay tuned for that video. But thank you all for watching. I really appreciate what you do. I thank you for all the subscribers that have recently come to the channel, even though I've not been posting videos. But yeah, don't forget to follow me on social media, my Twitter, my Facebook, everything's in the description down below. Always is, always will be. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Take care, don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you liked it, and there'll be a lot more coming with this car, and I've got another project as well that I will most likely bring to the table very, very soon when I have some more money. But yeah, until then, I hope you all enjoyed for the third time in a row now. Until next time, peace.